Yes, we are back. I mean, of course, the quarterfinals begins in the 2026 FIFA World Cup as 2018 champions, I mean, two-time champions France face their opponents in semi-final 4 years ago, that is Morocco. And of course, there's going to be a reclash of what happened 4 years ago as the two sides clash in the quarterfinals of the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Those two sides are yet to lose a game so far in the World Cup. And of course, they've given up some couple of tremendous performances. France have won all their games from match day one and the game against Senegal up till the last one against Paraguay. Morocco, after drawing against Brazil, never turned back. They've won all their games. And of course, it set up an interesting clash as Kylian Mbappe meets his friend Ashraf Hakimi. And of course, this is going to be a top cracker. And one thing is, they've met only once in a competitive fixture, and that was 4 years ago, in as much as they've met 6 times. And of course, the French team have won 4 times. Of course, that is how it happened with two of the games ending in a draw. This sets up a seventh clash between the two sides as we go toe to toe in the quarterfinals of the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Coach Didier Deschamps is set to play his last tournament for the French team after taking over after 2012 in Euros. And of course, he took them to Brazil 2014 to the subsequent European Championship in 2016 when they lost. Of course, he won the title for them in 2018 in Russia. And of course, after failing against Switzerland in Euro 2021, they came in the finals of Qatar 2022. And of course, we saw them losing against Spain in the last time out in the European Championship. This time around, the French team are looking unrelenting. Out of their last 12 games, they won 11, including the last 7. So it tells you that the French team are up and drive. And of course, they have a perfect front four. I mean, Kylian Mbappe, Ousmane Dembele, Michael Olise, Bradley Bakola, ably supported by Desiree Doué, who used to come and add up his flair in the second half. And that is how it tends to be. And remember, that is how he made to sure that they had a penalty of which Kylian Mbappe converted in that game against Paraguay. And that is how the French team are so deadly, so dangerous. Kylian Mbappe has so far scored 7 goals in this competition. I mean, he has 19 goals in the history of the World Cup. I mean, he's just behind Lionel Messi in terms of all-time top scorers chart in the history of the World Cup. Right now, Lionel Messi is having 8, Kylian Mbappe 7, Erling Haaland 7, Harry Kane 6, and of course, Mikel Oyarzabal also having 4. So it tells you that the top scorers chart is getting killing interesting. And of course, that's how Kylian Mbappe has been setting up the French team. They seem to be quite dangerous, especially on the attack when they are dealing with their transitional play. Quick transition, Kylian Mbappe, Ousmane Dembele, Michael Olise has been the man setting up the tone. Michael Olise, in as much as he is yet to score, he has been the direct source of majority of the goals that the French team have been scoring. And this is where the Moroccan team need to be very, very careful of Michael Olise's movement alongside Kylian Mbappe. The French team doesn't have any concerns in terms of injury. Manu Kone, who has been playing alongside Aurelien Tchouameni, has really impressed in this World Cup. And he's one of the best midfielders who have impressed me so far in this 2026 FIFA World Cup. The AS Roma midfielder has done a tremendous job, even in the presence of Adrien Rabiot and of course N'Golo Kante. He still finds himself within the French team. And of course, that's how Julius Koundé, William Saliba, Dayot Upamecano, and of course Hernandez have been partnering on the back line with goalkeeper Maignan also in the goal post. So the French team has been so deadly, so dangerous. But they're coming face to face with the resilient Moroccan side who are also not yet to back down. And of course, Ashraf Hakimi has been impressive since he started playing as the national team player of the Moroccan setup. Being the captain, he has done a tremendous job. Noussair Mazraoui has been one of the big and top performers for the Moroccan side in this World Cup. Injury concerns for Morocco. The unfortunate news is Ismail Saibari, the one who has been the source of their goals, is out of this game after he had a knock in that game against Canada. And of course, it's going to take up some bites at the attacking front of the Moroccan setter. Sofiane Rahimi is set to filling up his shoes leading the line. But of course, I think Saibari's absence is definitely going to affect the Moroccan because the telepathy, the chemistry between him and Ibrahim Diaz has been quite understandable. And of course, how he and then Azedine Unai and the likes of Bilal El Khanous combine also whenever the Moroccan team is transiting from midfield to the attack has been quite wonderful. So the absence of the absence of Saibari is definitely going to affect the Moroccan set. So Sofiane Rahimi will be in his place. And of course, at the back line, Riyad Chadi missed out in that game against Canada. And of course, Rahul Halal also was made to partner Issa Diop at the back line. But maybe Riyad Chadi is likely to pass a late fitness test and join his partner Issa Diop at the back line. I mean, we've seen Ayub Boadi playing top game for the Moroccan side in the game against Brazil, against Scotland, against Haiti. And of course, he did impress even in the last out in that game against Canada. So he's supposed to match up the French midfield. Ayub Boadi has been the single pivot in front of the back line. His tenacity, his hold-up play, his press-resistant play has been quite flourishing from the Losk Lily midfielder who just switches nationality to Morocco and played for them ahead of this World Cup. And I think he, alongside Azedine Unai, the likes of Brahim Diaz and Bilal El Khanous, are going to match up the French side deep in the midfield of the Moroccan setup. But unfortunate incident is Ismail Saibari missing out, which is quite unfortunate on the part of the Moroccans. Key battles is the midfield. The French likes to operate with the two mid-man midfield. The Moroccan time applies with a single pivot in terms of Ayub Boadi just in front of the black line with the front three. The likes of Azedine Unai, Bilal El Khanous, Saibari, and you see Ismail Saibari leading the line. But the French likes to operate with the front four. So those guys at the side with the likes of Ousmane Dembele, Olise, add up to the midfield whenever they are on the attack, of which they add up to commit more men to help defend those situations. But unfortunately, I think Morocco without Ismail Saibari is going to be something which is going to dent their chances of winning the game against the French side. In as much as it's going to be a tight game, realistically, I see the French team starting as favorites. I want to test the resilience of the Moroccan setup today. How they're going to deal with the movement of Michael Olise and Kylian Mbappe, Ousmane Dembele. I think if the Moroccans are able to deal with this movement, they will be able to match toe-to-toe with the French team. If they're able to do so, I think the game will travel to extra time. Maybe if there's not going to be a goal within the 120 minutes, post-match penalties to decide. But honestly, I see the French team starting as favorite. Let's see. I hope Morocco get the chance to qualify because I'm an African. I want Morocco to qualify, but it's absolutely going to be a difficult task for the Moroccans. They need to set up in a way to prevent the likes of Michael Olise, Ousmane Dembele, and Kylian Mbappe their movement. It's a tight game. I see the French team starting as favorites, but let's see what happens in the 2026 FIFA World Cup first quarterfinal as Morocco and then France clash in the quarterfinals of the 2026 FIFA World Cup. This has been the podcast channel. Thank you.